All right, guys, in this video, I am going to do a behind the scenes look at how this delayed credits feature is going to be kicking out 60% plus APYs per year. And I'm going to break it down and show you guys evidence of how things are going on in the background. Unlike many other projects, the devs come out and say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. Well, I'm going to show you proof on how we're able to do what it is that we're doing, okay? And think about it right now, this is a better season to buy and hold Bitcoin than ever, regardless if the price is going up or if the price is going down. Because just think right now, what is the price of Bitcoin? What, 110,000, almost $111,000. Well, it has come down, but I guarantee you guys it's not going to drop 60% over the course of a year's time. And what these wallets are going to do for you is kick out over at least 60% using the delayed credits feature. And there are other features that you can use to capitalize on your Bitcoin as well. But at this point, this is the major money maker. Okay, so I'm gonna break down some things. We're gonna go through some forum posts, and I'm gonna share some information with you guys that I kind of hinted to in this post when I dropped the concept here. I mentioned at the bottom, spoiler alert. Now that you have digested all of that, there's more about this feature, but I'll keep that under wraps. Well, in this video, I'm going to share that information. So be sure to stick around and find out what the deal is. But to start off, I do want to give a shout out to my moderators. Right now, I have DigiSoul and Redeem on. Both of these guys, we kind of connected through our journeys in the crypto space. Both of them are very technical. So they um, contact me, hit me up, and we talk both privately and publicly in the forum. And when they see something wrong or have questions, they definitely bring that to the forefront. So, while I might be an innovator and thinker myself, I do have other people um, like these guys that kind of keep me focused. And also a shout out to the once Core 4, now has evolved to the Fab 5. My boy Coach, you guys know Drip Coach, Derek, Monty, and Jamie. So shout out to all you guys and appreciate all of the support and feedback that you help with this project and to grow it out. All right, now with that said, one other thing I want to talk about the forum is that we've been getting quite a bit of registrations and people coming out here spamming and things like that, particularly out of Russia. So I have updated the forum to where registrations are no longer um, easily accessible, to where you can just put your information in and you become a member, because many of these new guys coming in are coming in and they're posting spam all throughout the forum. So at this stage of the game, like this guy right here just came in, now an activation will be required by me as the administrator. So if I see new guys come in, I go check them out, I see that they're based in Russia. That's all they're doing out here is posting spam links, and this is going to shut that down. So for you guys that are users of the platform, I recommend when you register to become a member of the forum, please use the same email address that you used to register for a Bitcoin wallet, because I would love to just keep this forum open for users of the wallet, because again, this forum is the source of all information that you're going to get regarding the Bitcoin wallets. Okay, so you do want to kind of keep this, and as we go through some of the posts and topics that were put in this forum, you're going to understand why and the benefits of them. So you guys have at it. You don't have to be a member to read it, but you will have to be a member to submit updates and create your own posts. Okay. So with that said, let's hop on over to, now this isn't anything specific to delayed credits, but this is a point that I would like to present right now because I'm going to refer back to it a little bit later. All right, so we did have a user, once again, decentralized. He is also quite technical. So we kind of have talked back and forth on several things, and he is very inquisitive and asks all the difficult questions. And he did drop this inquiry because his APY for his credits was negative. So it was kicking out a -4. So we kind of chatted back and forth. He sent me a screenshot, and indeed, his conversion APY was negative. Well, come to find out, guys, this happens because when you, if you buy credits in the marketplace for 10% at a 10% discount, and you take those credits and you sell them at a 20% discount, then that is putting you behind in regards to the amount of credits you paid for and gave away. Now, decentralized is still looking pretty because when he purchased those credits, the price of Bitcoin was a lot lower than it is today. So therefore, he was able to still make those or sell those credits in the marketplace and walk away with a profit in pounds, right? But just keep in mind, guys, if you ever see a negative amount in your conversion rate, it is because you are selling too many credits for a discount that is higher than what you acquired them for. Okay, so be mindful of that in your trading because essentially that is the only way you'll actually be able to lose in this platform. And and I don't want you guys doing that. I don't want anyone losing money with this protocol. It is essentially to make us all money. Okay. Now, with that said and that out the way, let's jump into some more difficult questions. All right. So you guys will see when I drop this in the updates and announcements, I talked about the concept of the delayed credits. And if you want, I do encourage everyone now to come through and read this documentation or watch the video because you do want to be aware of what's going on. And like I say, I'll hit that spoiler alert a little bit later. But Digisol came and once again, as he began evaluating the process, so he read through the documentation, he grasped an understanding, and he leaves this comment. He says, I'm loving the innovation and how your mind works. I'm still digesting the details of the feature and trying to get my head around things, which will take a bit. But he has a few questions. Now, these are some interesting and key questions that all of you would probably want to think about if you haven't thought about it already. Because the things about the delayed credits is that you are purchasing credits that will be issued to you in 30 days. But essentially, those that Bitcoin is going to be used for trading to kick back returns in Bitcoin, which we'll get into in a little bit. But he asked, how can you explain the safety protocols regarding the trading as in if the trading is profitable in 30 days? What happens? How is the vault protected? What margin of risk is being taken, etc.? Is the trading being automated or manual? What level of risk assets are being traded? Who is trading, you, or is there someone else trading the assets? How is it determined if a wallet will receive 5% in Bitcoin or 20% in credits? How do we know which one? And these are some good questions. So I break it down and answer to them. I don't want to waste too much time reading over this to make the video long, but the information is here, out here for you to read. But because these are key points, I will go ahead and elaborate on them a little bit. So can you explain the safety of the protocol? I'm going to say the safety net behind the trading is the issuance of credits. So keep in mind, guys, when we had that Bitness play, this is a high risk platform. Bitnest is, right? And we went into this and played it for a couple months where we opened the wallets up to say, hey, if Bitness ever rugs or runs away with your money, those of us that participate, we will not be impacted and we will allow the system to digest those losses. Well, essentially, guys, this same level of support is now available to our own protocol. So if there's anything that ever happened with the trading where we completely lost all of the Bitcoin or the exchange blocked the account or whatever happens, the system will automatically digest any potential losses and still be able to kick out Bitcoin or credits for each participant. Okay, so check out this documentation here, and I will be verifying some of that information as we go through this video. Is the trading being automated or manual? This is 100% me trading. And of course, I left this video here for any and all of you guys to look at. So it's not um, trading LPs, guys, right? We're not dealing with any impermanent loss, and we are dealing strictly with my abilities and history of trading for profits, okay? So you guys don't have to worry about learning how to trade. You guys don't have to worry about assets or anything going on with your money or being put at risk because number one, the system itself is going to take care of any losses. And number two, you're dealing with a capable trader. And I've proven it here in this example. I've done videos on how to trade Bitcoin and shown you guys how to increase your Bitcoin holders through trading. So there's sufficient evidence online of my capabilities in generating profits through trading. So now I am just using that. I mean, I use it for my own assets, but now I'm using that to help support the wallets and everyone that participates in the wallets. Okay. So there's an answer there, and I'll share with them, hey, I always trade my own assets, blase, blase. And give them some quick information. This shows 100% return in 5 months. I did kick out 10% last month, considering that the price of Bitcoin has been falling, considering that I've been spending a lot of time working on the development of these delayed credits. And then everything that the system earns beyond that 5% payout in Bitcoin is either used to go to the vault for all wallets to participate or benefit from, or used in trading or to support future Bitcoin payouts. And used in trading is key because what this does, guys, it gives me even more assets to trade. The more assets I have to trade, the more revenue I'm able to generate. Okay. So with that said, and there's another question. You guys can read that. In the end, it's a win-win. All right. So I did answer those questions there. Oh, his third question. How is it determined if at the end of that 30-day period, the redemption date, we will receive 5% in Bitcoin or 20% in credits? This is done automatically by the system, guys. So the system assesses is there Bitcoin available to return Bitcoin? If there is, return Bitcoin. If there's not, return credits. Okay. So you guys can read this information here because I am going to show you what's going on behind the scenes. So keep in mind, right now, when it comes time for a redemption date, by that time, the system is already looking at, I want to have at least 5 days of returns sitting in this vault. So let me clarify what this DCV is. Where did I mention that? All right, so this delayed credits vault is not to be confused with the vault that's used to pay out the conversions from credits to Bitcoin. This is a completely separate area. So when you see this DCV referenced, this is the vault specifically assigned for delayed credits. So when you guys go out there and purchase delayed credits, that doesn't go into the primary vault. It comes into this vault. And assets are swapped between this vault and exchanges to, because once it gets on the exchange, that gives me access to begin trading it. Okay. So at the end of each redemption day, and we've already kicked in, it'll take another, what, 20 something days before the first redemption date comes. Well, the system is going to look and say, hey, I want to have 120% of whatever deposits were made for the next 5 days sitting in the vault, the DC vault. Okay. And that's going to be a requirement. And it's going to inform me of all of that, and I will make sure those assets are there. So what I'm about to show you guys now is a behind the scenes look at some information that I had to develop to help me manage this whole process more efficiently. Because my focus is on trading and not on how do I move this asset, how do I move that asset. Okay, so let me drop this right here for you guys. Okay, so I'm not showing you the whole page because there's other private information that you do not need to see, nor the URL of how I'm accessing this. But this right here is a demonstration of delayed credit. So if I refresh this screen, it's always going to give me an update on where the money is, how much money is sitting in the vault, how much money is sitting on the exchange, and how much money has been invested, what the obligations are, what the Bitcoin obligations are, and the credit obligations. And it keeps track of numerous other things. So let me break this down for you guys so that you have a full understanding of how I use this and how I'm managing the assets. Okay, so right here, the capital investment, this is the total amount of capital that is being traded at any given time. Okay, this total investment invested will always represent the total amount from the time it began to a year, 2 years, 5 years from now. But this right here will only be for the period that is being invested. So like once a redemption period hits, money is going to come out of the system back into the wallet of the participant. Okay, so this number will then decrease because this will only reflect how much capital has currently been invested for a period before the redemption date. Okay, this too will only be equivalent to the credit obligations for this investment period, and same with the Bitcoin. All right, so it gives me Bitcoin obligations to the tune of 5%. It gives me credit obligations to the tune of 20%. Okay, with that said, let's jump down to the managed assets. Now, this amount here is how much we currently have. So guys, we have been running this for, today is the 4th, so we've been running this for about 5 days now. And understand that this is how much Bitcoin has come in. All right. And this is how much Bitcoin we currently have. So we are already up by almost 1%. If I refresh this, it should give me, okay, now it's by 0.74%. Okay. And keep in mind, this is constantly adjusting because the price of Bitcoin is moving. The trades may or may not go through at any given time. So this gives me an instant look at what position we have. But consider this, guys. When money comes into the vault, that Bitcoin comes into the vault, I have to move this money from the vault to an exchange. So I am moving it, I'm converting it from Bitcoin into a stable coin, and those charge fees. So you can imagine when you give your money, your Bitcoin for the delayed credits, I'm taking those Bitcoin assets, converting them into a stable coin and sending them to the exchange. And that typically charges a fee. There's no way you're going to be able to transfer that and end up positive. So technically that would be a negative. Like before I started trading, that was a negative and will continue to be, because each time I swap between the exchange and the vault, there will be fees. So thus far, out of the 2,700 that we have received so far for delayed credits, I've transferred to the exchange about 2,400 of that. So I try to keep the exchanging or the swapping between the exchange and the vault minimum, because we do not want to incur unnecessary fees for doing those swaps. Okay, so with that said, let me jump over real quick. Well, let me finish explaining this. All right, so as mentioned in this video here, I talked about the number of days. There's a period of 5 days of payout that is required. This is the minimum amount of days, guys, and this lets me know, or lets the system know, how to calculate all of the other information, and tells me what to do when I need to move assets and so on and so forth, just to make sure there's sufficient assets to pay out in Bitcoin, because that is the priority of the delayed credits feature. Now, with that, the minimum is 5 days. So come time we reach the first delayed or first redemption period, this amount is going to increase and say, hey, I need 5 days worth of assets sitting here so I can cover the next 5 days. Well, guys, essentially, as we continue to increase in assets and increase in profits, the system is going to say, hey, let's go ahead and update this from 5 days to 10 days, or 10 days to 15 days, or 15 days to 20 days. And what is that doing, guys? That is securing additional Bitcoin in our system, in our own system, so that they aren't subject to something on the exchange, because we all know the rules: not your keys, not your coins. If they're sitting on the exchange, we no longer own that Bitcoin. We no longer have direct access to those private keys, but we need those assets over there to trade. Well, as we continue to increase in assets, we can begin putting more of those assets and leaving more of those assets within our own system. So as the system continues to evolve, this number continues to increase from 5 to 10 to 15, and ultimately to the full 30 days, so that it's 100% guarantee that you will always have Bitcoin. But even at this point, you're going to see just with 5 days how guaranteed your return in Bitcoin is going to be. All right. So with that, it also gives me the minimum required in the vault at any given time. Well, right now, nothing's required, because we just kicked this off 5 days ago. So we have another 25 days before a 5-day period is required. And we're focusing in on the amount of Bitcoin. Okay. It also gives me a little extra information on what the next daily payment will be, and the current payouts as you see them in your delayed credits. Now, this right here, guys, is one of the benefits, or the spoiler alerts, that I had mentioned here, right? Spoiler alert. I'm about to share with you guys a nice little spoiler alert, because as the system continues to accumulate in assets, these numbers began to increase automatically. Now, when a swap was going on the other day, the system did trigger a quick increase of 30%, from 20% in credits to 30% in credits, and someone actually was able to jump in on that benefit. And of course, the system is going to pay it, because that's what it's designed to do. But over the course of time, guys, these payouts will increase, and the payout percentage in credits can increase to 100%. So imagine if you were to buy delayed credits and you receive delayed credits, you put $100 worth of Bitcoin out there, you will end up in a month's time getting $200 worth of credits, which gives you plenty of room to make profits or sell them in the marketplace and produce even more profits. The amount of Bitcoin you can receive can get up to 8%. Okay. Now, with each level of increase, guys, it becomes more difficult to reach the next level. All right, that's per design because we want to build this slowly, progressively, and secure those assets in the vault. Okay, does that make sense? So going forward, you guys will eventually start seeing greater percentage. And just think about the percentages you're getting now with the almost guaranteed 5% return on your Bitcoin, guys. That is 60% a year that you're going to earn on Bitcoin. Where else are you going to be able to find that? It just does not exist on Bitcoin, guys. Number two, this system is also whale proof. So if a whale wanted to come in and be like, oh, snap, I want to gobble all this up, 5% on my Bitcoin. Well, guess what that whale is going to have to do, guys? Per the design of this system, in order to participate in delayed credits, you have to make an equivalent amount of purchases in the marketplace. So if a whale came in with $100,000 worth of Bitcoin and be like, hey, I want to get 5% on my Bitcoin, right? Well, guess what? He's going to have to spend 50,000 in the marketplace. And what is that going to do for the marketplace? Of course, it's going to shoot a ton of additional capital into the vault, the main vault that pays everything out. And at this point, at this stage of the game, there's not even $50,000 worth of uh, offers for sale in the marketplace, right? So no whale is going to be able to come in and try to swoop up any and all the money at one time, right? The system is going to be progressive and fair and balanced for everyone. Doesn't matter if you only put in £1, 20 pounds, 100 pounds, 1,000 pounds, or whatever the case is. The system, as always, is designed to be balanced. Now, with that, just so you guys know that I'm not fudging any numbers here and let you know that this is the actual numbers that we have, I did want to run a quick synopsis here to show you that, like, here's my wallet here, one of my wallets, and what I'm going to do is purchase some delayed credits and show you guys what happens each time delayed credits are purchased. And what we are going to notice once I make this delayed credit purchase is the capital investment is going to increase, the obligations and Bitcoin obligations are going to increase, the managed assets is going to increase, and how much money is in the vault is going to increase. Assets on the exchange are going to be just that, and we'll see what happens. So let's see if I put in 0.0001. If I buy this much in Bitcoin, and let me refresh this real quick so we get the latest numbers. Okay, we see that assets in the vault are currently about $251. With this, it should be $262 or something, right? So let me purchase these delayed credits here. Need to scroll down. I'll buy that now. All right, so now that that payment has gone through, I can refresh this. Pull this up. I can refresh this screen and we will see what happens here. All right, so we see with that purchase, the assets in the vault just increased by $11 or whatever the value of that Bitcoin is. And this Bitcoin is being swapped, of course, between the vault and the exchange. Okay, so this is a back end system, and now we, with the price and everything, we are up 1.42%, and we are up in within 5 days, right? So this percentage will continue to increase, and over the course of time, the minimum we need to pay out is 5%, which are the Bitcoin obligations for Bitcoin to pay out. Okay. Once it hits 20%, that's when extra profits start being fed into the ecosystem itself as a stream of revenue. So all of that stuff is on me, guys. It's up to my trading capabilities to make sure that happens, and you guys are going to see with time that it does happen. And you were pretty much guaranteed, even if it doesn't happen, you're pretty much guaranteed to make profits through this feature anyway, particularly in Bitcoin. And again, that's because of the delayed credits features, the support on the back end. And I'm about to show you another bonus that you are not aware of at this point, and that is the balance that we currently have on the exchange. Now, as you see, as you've seen in a previous video, this balance has progressively increased because of trading. And I think I showed that in, I guess it was in one of these clips here. Let me pop this open a little bit larger. Yeah, that's the wrong one. So if you come and look at this video clip here, where Did You So inquired about this question, I gave a reply, and I'm like, hey, anyone that needs proof of my ability to trade and make profits, there's a video clip for you here. So all of this stuff is documented. If you have questions, so you are not dealing with someone that is unaware or unfamiliar with what it is to earn profits, okay? And you guys are just benefiting because you are able to do it off of my back, okay? Now, with this, you'll notice there's $6,200 in here. Full transparency, if we look at the transaction history, you've seen this in a previous video. Last month, at the end of last month, I put in another $700 and $685. And when you added all that up together, total, it was about $2,200.58. Well, through my trading, that $2,258 has increased to about $3,700. Okay. Well, guess what? That $3,700, I am pretty much dedicating to this platform to say, if additional funds are needed to pay out 5% yield, pull it from that, right? And the recent transactions that came here are from the the delayed credits feature. So if you notice here, how many assets are sitting on the exchange, that's the amount there that came from the wallet to the exchange. Now they're sitting on the exchange. And these are the two transactions that came in. Okay. So keep in mind, guys, these funds are used and are increasing through regular trading. Okay. And for the fact that there's a $3,700 bottom or cash fund that the system will be able to tap into should any trading at any given time not be sufficient, considering, guys, what that $3,700 will do as a backup. With $3,700, that supports what $3,700 divided by, because it has to pay out 5%, right? Divide that by 5%, that supports $74,000 worth of investments in delayed credits, okay? Which is a nice little number, which gives me plenty of assets to continue to grow. So right now, the platform is sitting on about 6,200, and that I'll continue to use that to continue to grow the profits and start yielding those profits to all of us participants. Okay, so out of this also, I'd like to mention, I know some of you might be a little bit weary about participating. Well, that's what this video is for, to show you guys that it is a solid way to grow your Bitcoin. And out of this $2,000, I've probably already put in maybe about 1,500, maybe 1,300 or something like that. And there are about 64, 65 entries. So don't wait, because with time, guys, I mean, we don't need your assets. If you don't want to play, don't play, right? But understand that this platform is out here to support you guys. And at this stage, I'm not even looking, like I say, for new clients, those that have an interest and understand how Bitcoin is. I'm not even teaching on Bitcoin anymore. I'm dropping these videos so those of you that are existing participants of the wallets know full well all of the features, how they work together, and how it can culminate to a large bag of Bitcoin for you in the future. Okay. All right. I think that pretty much covers everything for this video. Again, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below or head out to the forum, drop it out here. And if there are any other of you technical guys that want to participate in what being a moderator in the forum, that would be greatly appreciated, because when we have new people that come in or existing users that have questions, once you get out here, you understand it and you're able to vet it for yourself. You're able to help out in areas where I might not be available. And that kind of frees me up to continue more work in development. Because trust me, guys, there's a lot more coming up. You guys haven't seen anything yet. Once you experience it, these delayed credits, that's gonna blow your mind. And then what's coming in next is going to blow your mind as well. So we'll keep this ball rolling, guys. And no matter what the price of Bitcoin is, continue to buy it, hold it, and use your holdings to increase it. All right, guys, that's all I got for you in this video. And we'll holler on the next one. Peace out.